As if it's here. As if it's actually happening. We are here, finally, at the Pokemon League. It's taken us 75 episodes to get here, but finally, in our Pokemon series, we are going to get an entire section of the anime that is dedicated to Pokemon battles. Oh, shit. No one said they'd be good, though. We start the episode in Professor Oak's living room, where a Pokemon League viewing party is being held. And Oak, mate, couldn't you have pulled out a few chairs for the occasion? Or even just gone out and bought some foldable ones or something? Are these poor bastards really gonna have to stand up for the entire Pokemon League? This woman tells Ash that she needs to see his identification so that she can check him in. And Brock interrupts with,
Ash can check in while I check out your beautiful smile.
Brock has interrupted the very important Pokemon League check-in service to sexually harass this poor woman who's just doing her job. It's really hard to believe that stuff like this was just normal in the 90s. Honestly, I'm really glad things are changing, even if they are changing really fucking slowly. Brock explains that before Ash gets to battle in the Indigo Stadium, he has to win each of his battles on the 4 preliminary fields, which are rock, water, grass, and ice. That's all well and good, but why doesn't Ash know this already? He's been a fan of the Pokemon League since before the first episode. Like I always point out, he's a big enough fan of the Pokemon League to have even got an official hat from them, so how does he not know about the 4 preliminary fields? Brock knows all this because he has the Pokemon League Trainers Book. Apparently it's the #1 source for everything Pokemon trainers need to know about the Pokemon League. Well, I mean, it's great that you have that, although I must say, where the fuck was this book during Ash's training? I bet that would have come in pretty handy when Ash was, you know, preparing for the Pokemon League. Team Rocket, dressed as reporters, interview this guy to find out what Pokemon he has with him, obviously so they can steal those Pokemon if they feel that they're worth it. He has a Dodrio, Eradicate, and a Venomoth, but the Venomoth gets shown off as he's saying Eradicate, which makes it sound like he's referring to Venomoth as Raticate. Just another example of the English dub being an absolute mess. It doesn't matter though, because Team Rocket aren't impressed by his Pokemon anyway. Mate, what's wrong with Dodrio? Dodrio's amazing. I won't hear a bad word said about it. Imagine not appreciating Dodrio. Arseholes. Ash's first round opponent, Mandy, is impressing some random bystanders with magic tricks and makes a bunch of Pidgey appear. James says he likes that guy's style, and Meowth responds with,
I like those Pidgeotto.
Meowth, are you blind, mate? They're Pidgey? Why is the Pidgey line the one that the English writers always seem to screw up the names of? I know they do look similar, but they're really easy to tell apart. Mandy tells Team Rocket they must not be very good reporters if they don't know that he's the Astounding Mandy. This guy has the same energy as that stupid rich kid that cussed out that security guard a few years back.
You're not famous, you're relevant, you're late. I'm the traffic spot, I make a lot of money.
God, I hated that cunt. Since Ash's first round battle is taking place on the water field, Misty offers to lend him a couple of her water-type Pokemon, and Ash says him and Squirtle will be just fine. Now on the one hand, Ash is being dumb as hell here, since of course water Pokemon do have an advantage on the water field, and having more than one would be a massive help. But on the other hand, Misty, have you met your Pokemon? They're all shit. Gary says he'd feel really bad if Ash lost in the first round because he wants the pleasure of beating Ash himself. Mate, don't tease me like this. Like, I'm rewatching this in 2021 with over 20 years of hindsight, and I'm still mad that you teased us here, and we had to wait so long for Ash and Gary to finally have a battle. Like, what episode are we, 75? And Ash and Gary won't have a proper battle for almost 200 episodes yet.
Well, actually, Liam, I think you'll find Ash and Gary have a battle in episode 116.
Firstly, that's still 30 episodes away. It's still a bloody trek to get to. And secondly, that doesn't count. It was Pikachu versus Eevee one-on-one. That's not the battle anybody wanted. Professor Oak calls Ash and suggests swapping around some of his Pokemon, and Ash decides to have Krabby sent over, and Professor Oak says this should really cheer Krabby up. I mean, at this point, we only know Krabby as an untrained Pokemon, and that's been the case ever since it was caught, so what if it gets beaten to a pulp? Will that really cheer it up? What would cheer me up is if you would hit the like button on this video. Please hit the like button. Let's get to 10,000 likes on this video if we can. It helps us massively in the algorithm. If you like WTF Moments, you want to see more WTF Moments, make sure you're helping this channel grow, because that's going to be the most effective way of allowing me to be able to continue making this wonderful series. And don't forget to share this video on social media and leave a comment down below, and if you can't think of a comment, just put a generic one like,
Oof, Daddy, that sky I do be blue though.
And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. Hello, how you doing? Bang on that subscribe button, turn on all notifications so you never miss an episode of Pokemon WTF Moments, and go back and watch all the rest because they're really fun and I had loads of fun making them. Glad you're watching him. Ash's mum turns the camera to show the townsfolk who are all cheering for Ash, and Ash says that's great and everything, but can you please put the signs down? But I'm just wondering why they brought the signs in the first place. They're at Professor Oak's house, not in the stands at the Pokemon League. So other than in this one video call, Ash isn't going to see those signs for the rest of the competition, so what's the point of them? Also, Gen 1 remake called Let's Go, confirmed in 1998. Pass it on. Misty says she's concerned about Ash using Krabby since Krabby's never been in a battle. Excuse me, Misty, but when Ash met Krabby, Krabby decisively won a battle against a stick. That's gotta count. Brock points out the importance of choosing the right Pokemon and says the outcome of some battles are decided before they even start. For example, if you're battling against someone under the age of 13, you know they're gonna bring all legendaries and mythicals and exclusively spam their signature moves. Meanwhile, Gary's being interviewed after winning his first round match, and he says, and I quote,
Of course, in every Pokemon match, there has to be a winner and a loser, and the trainers I know are real losers.
Mate, if I can live my life as even half the self-absorbed arsehole this guy is, I'll die a happy man. Direct quote from the announcer.
Right now on the water field, the second battle is about to begin.
What are you talking about, mate? This battle has clearly already begun. The green trainer's lost one Pokemon already, and the red trainer's only got one left. In what universe could you possibly think this battle has yet to start? Seaking is a bloody good Pokemon. Pass it on. The announcer says that it was Seaking's Horn Drill that won the match, but to me that just looked like a regular horn attack. Although, does it even matter? These trainers don't even have names. Misty tells Ash she can see him shaking, and Ash says it's not him shaking, it's just the stadium shaking. And then Brock comes out with,
Speaking of shaking, I could go for a chocolate shake.
Brock, mate, your friend's about to have his first battle in the Pokemon League. The very thing he's been working towards the entire time you've been traveling with him. Do you want to focus on that and worry about milkshakes later, mate? Brock's a tosser. Pass it on. Why is Misty randomly wearing a black shoe here? Did she step in Growlithe shit or something and had to borrow one of Ash's? Team Rocket commandeer the commentary booth to tell Ash that they want to see him beat Mandy. Yeah, sure. Distract Ash. That'll help him win. After Team Rocket get dragged away by 4 Officer Jennies, Brock claims that those were 4 of his top favorite Officer Jennies, and Misty is surprised that he can tell them apart. Ha ha ha, you get it, guys? It's because they all look identical. Isn't it so funny, guys? Please don't change the channel. We've got comedy, honest. Brock goes on to describe the subtle differences between the Officer Jennies, and of course it's all nonsense. In fact, that describes Brock pretty accurately. Nonsense. For legal reasons, I'm using the word nonce as a synonym for the word idiot. Let's just make that perfectly clear. I'm not calling Brock a pedo. Not today, at least. As the battle begins, Ash sends out Krabby, and then Misty over Ash's shoulder yells,
Don't use Krabby.
I mean, it's a bit late now, Misty. He's literally sent it out. People have seen it now. It'll already have been recorded as one of his 3 Pokemon for this battle. Like, there's no point telling him not to use it because he has to use it now. And the thing you should use now is Code ACE for money off G Fuel. Today I'm drinking Shiny Splash, the A-Drive inspired flavor. Shout out to A-Drive for coming up with just a banging blueberry lemonade. What a wonderful flavor it is. And remember, if you use Code ACE, you'll save 10% on your entire G Fuel order. And of course, it helps out me and the channel as well, so everybody wins. Oh, that is so good. That is a wonderful flavor. It's perfect for the summer. Use Code ACE, get yourself 10% off G Fuel. Remember, of course, G Fuel is for over 18s only. Children do not need caffeine. Good lord, they've got way too much energy as it is. And of course, because it contains caffeine, just drink it responsibly. Don't be a dickhead. Now, as you can imagine, the start of this battle is an absolute mess. Immediately, Mandy tells his Executor to use Psy-Wave. I mean, well done for using a move that gets same type attack bonus, but why wouldn't you have your grass type Pokemon use a grass type stab move that would have been super effective against your water type opponent? Ash then sees the Psy-Wave, a special move, and tells Krabby to jump into the water and use Harden, which will raise its physical defense. Come on, lads, use your noodles. Mandy gets Executor to use what Brock describes as a psychic attack, but for some reason creates a whirlpool that Krabby can't escape from. Bro, that's not psychic, that's whirlpool.
Well, actually, Liam, I think you'll find it can't be Whirlpool because Executor can't learn that move. move.
Mandy's just a hacker, clearly. Executor then uses Egg Bomb, whilst the Whirlpool is still going. So one of two things must be happening here. Either Mandy is hacking and his Executor is using Psychic to create the Whirlpool and using Egg Bomb at the same time, something that shouldn't be possible, or that was indeed Whirlpool, a move which will continue to hurt Krabby but frees up Executor to use other moves, which as we said before would have to be hacked onto Executor because it can't learn that move naturally. Either way, Mandy is a hacker. Confirmed. The announcer says Executor's barrage has created a wall of water that prevents Krabby from returning to its trainer. Mate, it didn't even use barrage, it used Egg Bomb, remember? Just admit it, guys, that was Whirlpool all along. It's even preventing switching out. Just admit Mandy's a hacker and disqualify him. Man, who'd have thought a magician could be so dishonest? Krabby is freed from the supposed psychic attack that creates a Whirlpool, just like when a Pokemon is freed from the move Whirlpool and uses Vice Grip. I wonder if they spelt it right. Apparently, squeezing Executor's leaves prevents it from using Hypnosis. Well, the more you know. One Leer and one Stomp later, and Executor is knocked out. Bet you wish you'd used a Grass-type move now, eh, Mandy? Hang on though, what a terrible moveset this Executor had. If you're following along, it had Psy-Wave, Psychic, or Whirlpool if you asked me, Egg Bomb, or Barrage if you asked the announcer, and Hypnosis. Christ, imagine bringing a Grass-type Pokemon with no Grass-type moves to a battle on the water field. Mandy deserved to lose, he's shit. After beating Mandy's Executor, Krabby evolves into Kingler. Firstly, mate, what an epic Poggers gamer moment this was. Like, don't act like this didn't pop you the first time you saw it. Secondly, what a dickhead Ash Ketchum is. He had a Krabby that must have been at least 90% of the way between level 27 and level 28, and he left it in Oak's lab all this time? To put things in perspective, he caught Krabby in episode 13. We're now at episode 75. He had the fucker for 62 episodes, and it was this close to evolution the whole time. Ash is a numpty. Pass it on. Direct quote from Dexter. A pincer Pokemon, whose claws can pinch with the power of 10,000 horsepower. I'm sorry, mate. Horsepower? That's a measure of how much force is needed to move a particular weight a particular distance in a particular amount of time. I think the words you were looking for were 10,000 pounds per square inch, because that would be a better measure of the crushing power of a crab's claws. Hell, even newtons would have been better. No one. Absolutely no one. Not a soul. Mandy's Seadra. Mate, why is Seadra's cry just ooh? It's so stupid. Ash tells the newly evolved Kingler to use Water Gun, which it must have learned upon evolution because Krabby already knew 4 moves. We saw it use Harden, Vice Grip, Leer, and Stomp, so Water Gun is definitely new. Although I do wonder how Ash knew that it had learned that. Oh, and now Ash has told it to use Bubble. Wait. When did it learn that? You telling me now it learned 2 new moves when it evolved? I wonder which 2 it forgot then. Okay, let's think about this for a moment. Seadra was using Agility, moving through the water at great speed. And the foam caused by Kingler's bubbles somehow managed to trip Seadra and send it flying into the air? That seems unlikely, doesn't it? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Surely Seadra's speed in the water would have just popped the bubbles. Plus, Seadra's a water type, so even Bubble as an attack wouldn't do that much damage. I really don't know what's going on here. Okay, and so now Kingler just knows Crab Hammer as well? Mate, that's either 3 new moves that this thing has learned in place of other moves upon evolution, or it just knows 7 moves for some reason. What the hell is happening here? Didn't I tell you? This battle is a mess. I thought Mandy was supposed to be a good trainer. His water-type Seadra just got beaten by 2 water-type moves. It sounds like he's crap to me. Mandy sends out his last Pokemon, which is a Golbat, and Brock says,
Misty, this is the worst thing that could happen to Ash now. Kingler is really weak against air attacks.
No, it fucking isn't. What are you talking about, Brock? Someone's not screwed their fucking head on today, have they? Ash gets Kingler to hide underwater, and as Golbat goes for a takedown attack, which is a weird strategy by Mandy because Golbat would have to go into the water to get to Kingler and then use a move that gives it recoil damage whilst being under the water and most likely unable to fly again. And just as it flies over the water, Kingler grabs it and uses Vice Grip. Alright, so Kingler still knows Vice Grip, so that's Vice Grip, Water Gun, Bubble, and Crab Hammer. 4 moves. I guess it forgot Leer, Harden, and Stomp then. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, sure, I'm glad we cleared that up. Golbat disappears from Kingler's grasp and reappears behind it, a move that the announcer refers to as
A behind-the-back double-team attack.
Surely this can't be Double Team though. Whenever we've seen a Pokemon use Double Team in the anime before, it's always just created the illusion of several copies of itself. But Golbat didn't do that. It just disappeared from one place and reappeared in another. Mate, that's teleport.
Well, actually, Liam, I think you'll find Golbat can't actually learn teleport, so you're wrong there.
And I think I told you earlier that Mandy is clearly a hacker, so Golbat knowing teleport when it shouldn't really doesn't surprise me at this point. Mandy then tells Golbat to use Razor Wind, a move it can't learn without TM02. Now normally I would say that this is even more evidence to support my claim that TMs are in fact canon in the anime, it's just the characters never expressly mention them by name. But as we've already established, Mandy is a big time hacker, so it could just be because of that. And literally the same point applies to Golbat's Mega Drain. TM or hack? I'll let you decide. This thing knows Hyper Beam now? Water Gun, Bubble, Crab Hammer, Vice Grip, Hyper Beam. Ash's Kingler knows at least 5 moves at the same time. Ash Ketchum is a hacker. Confirmed. So Ash Ketchum wins the battle without losing a single Pokemon. Ash mate, why don't you use Kingler more, you absolute fucking spork? It's your best Pokemon. Screw Pikachu, at this point Kingler should be the mascot for the entire franchise. Honestly though, how did anyone watching this not love Kingler from this moment on? Like, this has to be up there as one of the top 10 moments in the entire Pokemon anime. In my humble opinion at least. Everyone, especially Ash's mum, reacts as if Ash has just won the entire Pokemon League. Ease up love, he's only won the first round. He's got a long way to go yet. I dread to think Ash should react if he won the entire competition. She'd probably keel over and die. Meowth says the better Ash's Pokemon get, the better Pokemon they get when they swipe them. Sure, but the better they get, surely the harder to swipe they're gonna become. So maybe in the meantime you guys should go and catch or steal some more Pokemon. I will say that is one thing I've always hated in the Pokemon anime, the fact that Jessie and James barely pick up any Pokemon on their travels. Like in each region they get like 2, maybe 3 at the very most. I can't even remember a time where one of them's had 3. This is also why Pokemon Journeys is such a good season of the anime, because Team Rocket have the contraption that gives them 2 random Pokemon every time they go into battle with Ash and Go, and it just adds a whole bunch of variety, seeing them with a bunch of different Pokemon that we wouldn't normally get to see. According to Brock's Pokemon League Trainers book, winning trainers should conduct themselves with dignity and restraint. So that answers the question of how does the Pokemon League differ to Pokemon Showdown? As Ash dances like a pillock in front of all the news reporters, the narrator asks if this is the beginning of a winning streak or just beginner's luck. And I think it was a really bad idea to include this question. Like, after watching Kingler batter all of Mandy's Pokemon, as a kid I'd have been certain that that meant that there was no way Ash was going to lose the league. But the narrator questioning if it was basically a fluke or not sows a little seed of doubt. Which means that now when Ash doesn't win, it will come as less of a surprise. So just maybe, the narrator should shut the fuck up. So those are my WTF moments of Pokemon Season 1, Episode 75. Round 1 begin. Let me know your favourites and any that I missed down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Head over to twitch.tv/AceTrainLiam for all of my live streams. Link in the description. My 12-hour live stream for the month will be going on right now, so come over there and use code ACE for money off G Fuel. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.